And today marks a very important day on the AKI trial. All the submission of evidences and witness hearing cross-examination has been concluded today. Next, what will happen is on the 28th of July is when the lawyers for both sides will file their briefs. Their briefs will be adopted and filed. Of course, some of you will know, if you've been following Askanwe Media, that 27 bereaved parents who lost their children from after they ingested medicines that were imported into the country by Atlantic Pharmaceuticals, but coming all the way from India, Maiden Pharmaceuticals. Those children, some 70 plus children, have died in the country after ingesting medicines. And the bereaved parents are taking the Gambia government to court, being Ministry of Health, MCA, and Attorney General Office. And of course, the two pharmaceutical companies, Atlantic Pharmaceuticals and Maiden Pharmaceuticals. They are also being dragged to court. Now, the evidences and all of that has been filed, and all the witness testimonies and the arguments and cross hearings have been heard. So we will move on forward. It was a very interesting start because only the lawyers for the bereaved parents were in court at the beginning, right? The defense was missing, and only the witness was present, who is Dr. Bitey. In fact, Dr. Bitey was expected to be re-examined or cross-examined, whatever the legal term is, today by lawyer Tambedu, senior counsel Tambedu, who is representing Atlantic Pharmaceuticals. But he didn't show today. He wasn't in appearance. Somebody, though, eventually came and represented the government. That's Ministry of Health, MCA, and the Attorney General. Counsel Jiba, Counsel Aliu Jiba, he eventually came. He came in late, and he got some stern warnings from the judge, that's Justice Jaite, asking him, why are you coming late? Counsel Jiba said, I was just informed. And there was a very interesting engagement back and forth that took place whilst Justice Jaite was telling him that you should have been here at 10 o'clock when the trial was supposed to start. But he said that he apologized, Ali Jiba, he apologized for his late appearance. And then, not only that, he did reveal some things that he was only informed 3 minutes before coming to court. And that meant he wasn't very familiar and au fait with the case, but he said that his seniors had informed him to be there, so he had no choice but to be there and do the work that his seniors had put him up to. So, Dr. Bitey, being that he had nobody to cross-examine him, he actually just was discharged, actually. He ended up being discharged. Aliu Jiba eventually stated that he was instructed, actually, he was instructed to discharge, that he did not have any cross-examinations by his seniors. This is what his seniors had told him. And when Justice Jaite tried to discharge Dr. Bitey, unfortunately, that's when Counsel Jiba, because he wasn't familiar with the case, was trying to rule for an adjournment. But Justice Jaite sought clarification and explained to him that, look, this is your last witness. Are you trying to tell us that you have another witness, Counsel Yasin for the plaintiff and Counsel Senghor? They tried to update him so that he would know that this was the last witness and that the trial is actually over. So then what ended up happening was Justice Jaite ordered Dr. Bitey to mount the box. Well, he sat outside the box, but mount the box technically. And then he discharged him, thanked him for his work, thanked him for helping the court, explained that, you know, we are not doctors. You are the doctors. So we want to thank you very much for your help in guiding the court. And he was eventually discharged. And after that discharge, Justice Jaite marked the end of the trial proper. That means the end of submitting evidence, the end of asking questions, the end of cross-examining witnesses. We're done with that now for the AKI trial. That is now concluded. It took a while to iron out who would first have to file their brief. But the two lawyers, Counsel Yasin Senghor, at the beginning, Justice Jaite was of the belief that the plaintiffs had to file their briefs. But they were convinced by lawyers Yasin Senghor and lawyer Njai. They managed to prevail on Justice Jaite using the law, which they quoted some segments. We've got Order 35 here, Rule 8. These are some of the sections that they made reference to. And also, actually, the opposite, Counsel Jiba, Aliu Jiba, he supported Counsel Senghor and Njai. And in doing so, they both agreed that defense would file their brief first. This was agreed, and now it was just a case of when will this filing be done. At the beginning, Counsel Jiba sought 35 days to review the documents, but with some back and forth, of course, Counsel Ananjai intervened to try to say that they didn't need that long period. So it was this debate. Should it be 14 days? Should it be 28 days or 21 days? At the end of the day, they decided to go for 28 days. And what this means now, both of them have 28 days. The defense being Tambedu, and the Tambedu is standing in for one of the pharmaceutical companies, Atlantic Pharmaceuticals, and the government's lawyer, they are standing in for the third, fourth, and fifth defendants. Now they will file in first, and then the plaintiffs' lawyers will then file in their arguments. So on the 28th of July is when we will be back here in court. On that day will be the adoption of briefs, marking a very important milestone on the AKI trial. On the day when they do file their briefs, Justice Jaite has promised that he will inform the court as to when he would provide a judgment. So on the 28th of July is when we will know when judgment will come. So that's all we have for you. We'll be coming up with a Wolof version soon, right after this. Thank you very much.